this weekend, but out onto the circuit they head then, the juniors, for what's going to be the first of 3 heats for them this weekend as well. And the way the grid lines up for this one, it will see on pole position that of Chris Lulham, where it would have done. Apparently he's not going to be there for the start of this race. So number 1, Chris Lulham, is possibly missing from pole position. Alongside him on the front row, or on his own now, is number 19, which is Enzo Julie. Second row lines up with Georgie Dimitrov and Shihab Al-Habsi. Back on row 3 with NC Tijmen van der Helm and with Delano van Toff, who apparently is also missing from the grid, cart number 17. Row 4 then lines up with Leonardo Fornaroli with Evan Spendler, one of the championship contenders, on the outside of row number 4. Row 5, we've got Angus Mulsdale, who is the championship leader. He is down 9th on the grid. Work to do from the inside of the 5th row. Kayaski lines up alongside. Row 6 then has the lights of Matthias Castro Zagazeta with Matteo Ingolfo alongside. He was quickest in one of the practice sessions yesterday. Row 7 then sees the lights of Jason Ferrate and Ali Akabi alongside him. Row 8 lines up with Josh Dufek and Senyu Han. Row 9 will then see Daniel Traga and would have been Kaisen Gibson, but it looks like Kaisen is missing from the 9th row. Row 10 then sees Senna Eckers and DJ Leveres. Row 11 lines up with Sarah Tabachi and Louis Delbart, and at the back should have been number 58, Tom Edgar, but I think he is missing as well. So quite a few off the grid there. That could be due to tyre choice and not making the cut before the warning from the dummy grid went off. So all of those will either not be starting or we have to start from the pit lane. We'll have to wait and see on that one, but that really does shake up things for this race. Again, 8 laps to look forward to for this junior race as they work their way in the sunshine now through turn number 8 down there at the far end of the circuit through the hairpin. Let's see where those gaps are. There is no number 1, as we said to you, so on his own on that front row is Enzo Julie. Who else are we missing? Row 3 is with no number 17, and is there a number 17 there? Don't think so. And also from the back of the grid there is no number 58, Tom Edgar. So as we heard from the dummy grid, there is no of those numbers to look out for, and Chris Lulham has got major work to do in heats 2 and 3. We'll try and find out the reason why he isn't there and bring you that later on in the day. But for now we are set to go. Enzo Julie on his own towards the front. Row 2 is going to be pretty good and hot off the line. Georgie Dimitrov and Shihab Al-Habsi done well so far this weekend in practice and qualifying. Start up there on the grid, but they're all set to go for the 8 laps of racing for the juniors through the wet patch to the final corner. But for the rest of the track it's pretty much dry now as we head to the start line, and away we go. A great start there from Enzo Julie. Blasts away from the line and straight into second place goes 1, 2, 3, which is Georgie Dimitrov. Is going to be tiptoeing through the first couple of corners just to try and find the grip there for these juniors, but they've all safely made it through, unlike the mini maxes, but now through on towards the next corner. Second place for Shihab Al-Habsi, third place for Georgie Dimitrov, fourth place jumping up there is Tijmen van der Helm. He's been racing a lot this year with us in X30 and also the Euro Challenge, but he is now under attack by the looks of it as they head their way off the back straight for the first time. Very congested from 4th on backwards, and there comes the 3-way tie in towards the right-hander down the inside line there, trying to pick out who that was, but we'll see as they come down towards us who has made up into 4th position. But Enzo Julie still leads, being closed in on by the second place man, which is Shihab Al-Habsi. Third place is still that of Georgie Dimitrov from the second row of the grid, and our new 4th place person is going to be, I think Tijmen van der Helm is still there, but he's now under attack from number 23, which is Angus Mulsdale, has come through from 9th on the grid. So Angus is now challenging. Also number 15 trying to get down the inside, which is Kayaski. He went very well in the warm-up this morning in wet conditions. So Kai could be working his way through the field very, very nicely indeed as he pulls alongside the number 60 machine down towards the first corner and tries to go through on Ali Akabi, who's come up from 14th on the grid as well. So some of these guys possibly taking a risk with tyres, which has seen them jump up the field fairly quickly. Contact there between Kayaski as he works his way through turn 4. He's now going to be put out wide by the number 51 machine, but he'll try and fight back at turn number 6. That was number 51, which was the machine of DJ Leveres, again from the back of the grid here. So I think most of these have gone for the wet tyre option. Kayaski runs wide. He's now under attack from DJ Leveres again, and also trying to dive down the inside line was the machine of number 61, which is Matteo Ingolfo. I don't think any of those quite got through. In fact, yeah, number 51, DJ Leveres trying to go around the outside, gets into the wet stuff again. So Kayaski has the place for the time being as they run their way down towards the left-hander at turn number 11. So great action in the midfield of the top 10. The top runners are actually getting away. Enzo Julie now leads by a good second. Second place then for Shihab Al-Habsi. Third place for Georgie Dimitrov. And then behind that in 4th place is Timeman van der Helm, followed closely by Angus Mulsdale. The championship leader is doing what he needs to do, getting himself inside the top 5 places and getting a solid result for the first heat of the day for the juniors. Behind them in 6th place is Ali Akabi, 7th place for Jason Ferrate, 8th place is DJ Leveris, 9th place then is Kayaski, and then 10th place we'll see number 61, which is Matteo Ingolfo. This is a scrap on the screen between a few of the runners inside the top 10 places by the looks of it, as they work their way off the back straight. In fact, this is just outside the top 10 for now. Involves number 62, which is the machine of Leonardo Fornafolo. This is a long train of carts then, which runs from about 10th place all the way down to 20th. Now the number 39 machine going around the outside. As off the track there goes number 60, I think that was, as they try and rejoin 61 in fact. So that is Matteo Ingolfo, who's got stuck now as well on the grass, so that's not going anywhere. You can see he's got wet tyres on, so he was going well, and that's the reason he was making progress through the field, but he's stuck on the concrete and on the grass. So Matteo Ingolfo now drops to the back of the pack as the leaders come through and complete their next lap. On to lap number 4 they now head. Enzo Jule still leads. 2nd place for Shihab Al-Habsi. That gap though is coming down and down. It's 0.4 of a second between the top 2. 3rd place is Georgi Dimitrov. 4th place still Timeman van der Helm. He's now being caught by Angus Mulsdale because he's the quickest man on circuit. Last time through a 1:03.159. So watch out for Angus, kart number 23, on a charge from what was 9th on the grid, now inside the top 5 places. Off the back straight here goes the number 8 machine, which is Matteo Castro Zagazeta. He is under attack from number 33 by the looks of it, trying to go down the inside line, which is Evan Spendler. Evan, one of those championship contenders this weekend. He sits up there in 3rd place, 221 points, but he's not doing very well in this heat. A good thing for him, points are not being scored here today, but as we've mentioned, the better you do within the heats, the better grid position you'll have on the pre-final tomorrow. Leaders go through, and we've had a change up front because Shihab Al-Habsi has now gone through. Enzo Jule sets himself down in 2nd place, so the top 2 have switched around, I can tell you, as they work their way in towards turns 3 and 4. 3rd place is Timeman van der Helm, so who have we lost that time round? In fact, Georgi Dimitrov dropped down to 4th place. We've had a little bit of a switch around between 3rd and 4th places. The quickest lap of the race has come from number 60, which is Ali Akabi, who sits there in 5th place. So he's gone and done a 1:02.735. First man to dive down below the 1:03. So Ali Akabi now one to watch out for as he starts to work his way through the field. He was quicker than Angus Mulsdale, and he in fact went ahead on that last lap. So they swap around the 5th and 6th places. This is the fight now, you can see, for the lead of the race, with the new leader out front, Shihab Al-Habsi in kart number 43. 2nd there is Enzo Jule in 2nd. This is going to be a good result for him. Best of the championship contenders so far there in kart number 19. 3rd place is still Timeman van der Helm. He's starting to catch up as well now. So Timeman's on a charge. And then behind that, the 2 karts as well of Georgi Dimitrov and Ali Akabi. Those 5 just breaking away slightly from Angus Mulsdale. I'm just wondering if Angus went for the wet tyre setup, and that's the reason now he's starting to fall back within this race. We'll wait and see as they head through on this next lap. Lap 6 has been started. Enzo Jule there, not really dipping his head. He's staying in a very competitive 2nd place, right behind the race leader, Shihab Al-Habsi. Quickest man on circuit now is the 10th place man, the German racer, Josh Defeck, who's done a 1:01.774. So we're now down to low 1:01s, which is very impressive in these greasy conditions. You can see there as well, just caught a glimpse of Timeman van der Helm. He's on wet tyres. He looks for the inside line of Enzo Jule, goes through, so now up into 2nd place. So a great move there from Timeman van der Helm. To be fair to him, he was struggling yesterday in practice and slightly in qualifying, but as soon as the race starts to evolve, Timeman van der Helm can be found towards the front. So through he comes. Race leader Shihab Al-Habsi searching for the wet track there. You can just see him go for the inside line. That would indicate he's on wet tyres. 2nd place man Timeman van der Helm is on wet tyres as well. They may just survive in this one. I think they've just got enough time to make these wet tyres last until the end. If they'd have had a few more laps, they may not have survived the distance, but they are for the time being as the leaders work their way onto the back straight. There is our 4th and 5th place fight between Georgi Dimitrov and Ali Akabi. Off the straight they head down towards turn number 7. And they're not too far adrift now of Enzo Jule, who's there in 3rd. And there goes the move for Ali Akabi up another place down the inside of Georgi Dimitrov. So through into 4th place now goes Akabi. What can he do and set his sights on Enzo Jule? Can he get himself up into 3rd place before we see the checkered flag? I think the last lap, yes, he's about to go out this time round. So last lap board about to be shown to our race leader, Shihab Al-Habsi, which is going out this time. We've got a bit of a close action for the lead once more here, because Thymen van der Helm is going to try and go through on this last lap, which we're about to start. So Thymen van der Helm to the lead of the race. He looks over his shoulders. You can see the eyes glinting as well now, because they've got the clear visors on in these slightly wetter conditions. So through goes Thymen van der Helm to the lead of the race. He's come from 5th on the grid up into 1st position. So a great drive this has been from Thymen. 2nd place now for Shihab Al-Habsi on this last lap. 3rd place is Enzo Joulet. Can he hold on? He's got half a second or so in hand over Georgi Dimitrov. And then 5th place for Ali Akabi in 5th position, with Angus Milesdale, championship leader, 6th place within this first heat of the day for the juniors. Down towards turn 8 goes the race leader, and another move being made there. That is a retaliation move, I think, for Ali Akabi. Is that Ali Akabi going through, or is that a fight further back? Let's have a look at intermediate 2. I think it's all stayed the same. I think Ali Akabi went for a move, but in the end, Georgi Dimitrov fought back to keep the place. But that could all change on this last lap as well, as they head their way through. Got yellow flags down at turn 1. That's just to slow the leaders through, who is about to come through now. Thymen van der Helm has done well from 5th on the grid. He's going to take the first win of the day in the juniors. Thymen van der Helm takes the checker flag. He raises a finger as well to say he is number 1 once again this weekend. A great drive there from Thymen. 2nd place goes the way of Shihab Al-Habsi. Not a bad result for him in 2nd position. Enzo Joulet, one of the front runners in the championship, finishing ahead of the rest, which is good news for him. So he comes through in 3rd place, and it's going to be Ali Akabi and Angus Milesdale to finish 4th and 5th place. And there's a very disappointed number 61 machine, which is that of a man who started lower down on the field, Matteo Ingolfo. He qualified 12th, but he didn't finish the race after going off and getting stuck on the concrete and the grass down at turn number 10. But the race winner, Thymen van der Helm, he wins by 1.5 seconds for the privateer team. Shihab Al-Habsi comes through in 2nd for M Sport. 3rd place for Enzo Joulet for Sabi K. 3rd behind them in 4th place, Ali Akabi for Dan Holland Racing. And then it's the trio of Fusion Motorsport with Angus Milesdale, Georgi Dimitrov and Kai Aski coming through very well. In fact, Kai came from way down on the grid in 10th position. He managed to finish up in 7th place. 8th place goes the way of Jason Ferrate. 9th place for Josh Dufek, and 10th place for DJ Leveres. And the non-finishers in that race included Tom Edgar, in fact a non-start for Tom Edgar, along with Kaizen Gibson, Delano Van Toff and Chris Lullum. Not too sure what happened to them, but I'll do the investigation work during the break to find out. Matteo Ingolfo was a man who didn't finish, the only one in that race, and he'll walk away a very despondent man, and he'll get his car back to the awning and get that one sorted and set for his 2nd heat of the day, which is going to come up after our break around about 12:40 this afternoon. But Thymen van der Helm, the winner, ahead of Shihab Al-Habsi, and Enzo Joulet comes